Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Rich, and I'm the owner and operator of Living Energy Massage and Healing. I offer massage therapy, shamanic healing, and systemic and family constellations. I've been a massage therapist for about 21 years. I'm also a licensed massage therapy instructor in the state of Alabama. I am living now and working in the city of Burnsville, North Carolina, and I have offices in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm dialing you from my view at my home. And in the background, you can see this mountain is called Bolin's Pyramid. This mountain is called Silo Knob. And Silo Knob and the mountains that run behind me, back all the way over here, are called the Black Mountains. They're some of the oldest mountains on the planet. And Silo Knob is one of the 10 largest peaks east of the Mississippi. And about 6 of those peaks are behind my body, behind my head, over this way. Today, I'm going to show you a quick acupressure, do-it-yourself at-home session that can help promote calm, centered presence, reduce anxiety, and can also strengthen your body. Easy to do, easy points to find. So to begin, we're going to take 2 fingers. I'm going to bend my wrist, and I'm going to go 2 fingers below my wrist crease. And right where at the end of that second finger, there's a little hole in between the bones right here. And it feels like the perfect place where your finger would go. You can use your forefinger, you can use your middle finger, the fourth finger, whichever one feels best. So this point, and then directly on the other side of the arm, there's another point right here. And again, it feels like just the perfect little place for your finger to go. So as I talk and try to get the light right, I'll just hold these points. You see I'm holding one with a thumb, holding one with my forefinger. Doesn't matter which fingers. I'm just going to hold these with moderate pressure. It kind of feels good to hold them. And holding points in the Chinese system helps balance and regulate our energy. These 2 points are points on a meridian that is not in the 12 organ meridian system, but it's part of the 8 extraordinary flows. These flows have a lot to do with balancing and putting into motion our reserve energy. So these are the master points for something called the Great Regulation Vessel. It has other names. So we can hold these for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, as long as you feel necessary. I sometimes hold these when I'm in a meeting or when I am watching a movie, sometimes when I'm waiting at the doctor's office, or at my office when I'm on a conference call. I'll just sit and hold these points. These are just a quick way of sort of balancing yourself, getting yourself back into a calm state. So now I'm going to find these points on the other arm so you get to see me do it again. So with the opposite hand, I'm going to take 2 fingers, I'm going to bend my wrist a little bit, and I'm going to again look for, see if I can get the light right, 2 fingers below the wrist crease, and then there's that perfect little spot right there where it seems like your finger just wants to go. And so I'm going to switch. Now I'm using my thumb, now that I found it. And right opposite on the back side of my arm, there's another little spot right here. Again, these are the master points for the Great Regulating Vessel. This is a wonderful place to just hang out for a good minute, 2, 3, if you like. And the Great Regulator Vessel influences reserve energy in the body and really regulates a lot of your body energy, your body processes. Incidentally, this point on the back of my hand is also on the triple warmer meridian. And this particular point that's right there below, pardon my third finger, the crease is used for people with flu-like symptoms. It helps really help with flu. The point on the inside of the arm is pericardium 6. It's also on that other meridian. There's 2 meridians that run through there. And pericardium 6 is a really good point for when you need help with nausea. So, multifunction again. And again, we're just going to hang out here for a good minute or two. And as you hold the points, you may feel something happening. You may feel the points softening, or you may feel like your fingers are going a little bit further in to your body toward the bones and that space between the bones. That's normal. You may not feel anything, and that's normal too. Sometimes they feel like it's just really good to hang out here, really good for these points to be held. That's a hallmark of accessing these points with our fingers instead of with needles. So good. First set of points. So now we're going to find 2 other points. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from my ear up to the top of my head. And I'm going to use 3 fingers. And right in the middle of your head, there's a little indentation. And I always like to go a couple of fingers on the other side as well. And I'm going to add a point right here below my lip. There's a little hollow below the center line underneath my lip where your finger just wants to go. So we're just going to hang out there again for about a minute or 2, maybe 3. The point on the top of the head and the point here are on what's called the central channel. And the central channel is said to influence all of the meridians in the body. The central channel is also sometimes known as the Sea of Yin and the Sea of Yang. It's a big reservoir. So this can help us really influence all the energy centers in our body in a good way, harmonizing them, and can release some of that chi if it needs to be released, or put it back into the reservoir if it needs to be put back. If we're really anxious, sometimes we have a lot of yang. The yang energy is on the back of the body, and so we can put it back into that big reservoir and let it be a nourishing energy instead of an energy that's really getting us all upset. The point on the top of the head is called 100 meeting point. And that's a really influential point for, again, all of the energy centers of the body. So you may feel a little bit of softening happening up there. You may feel yourself beginning to grow a little bit more calm. And you may feel nothing. That's okay too. So good. So now we're going to find some more points for calming. The first point is right here between the eyebrows. The name of this point is Yin Tang, and it is said to really calm the spirit. There's a little, between the eyebrows, you'll feel a little valley and maybe a little shelf. And that's where this point is. And in addition, I'm going to take my other hand and I'm just going to cup the back of my head. There's another point at the back of the head that is also a balancing and calming point. So I'm not holding this one in the front too hard, just lightly, enough to sort of get a contact. The sources say that you want to contact the chi. And this is a great point for if you're in a meeting and you want to be unobtrusive, you can just sort of put your finger here in the front of your head. You don't have to do the back of the head thing if it looks weird. But it's a good, quick way of really calming the spirit, getting you centered again. So again, we'll hold these from anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. And you may notice things happening differently if you hold them for a long time or a short time. But if you just have a few seconds, you can also access these points just for a few seconds to remind your body, oh yes, it's time to be calm again. Great. So our final points, there's a place right between where your collarbones connect. You can't see it on me because I'm fat, but right where the 2 collarbones meet, your breastbone actually is right up under here. So our pressure is going to be straight down. It's not going to be poking into our throat, but you can just sort of curl your finger in there and push straight down toward your feet. In the back of the neck, where the neck becomes the back, sometimes you've noticed people have this prominent little bump. What we want to do is we want to spread our fingers, again, a little bit like this, and find the hollows between each little vertebrae. I probably didn't demonstrate that very well, but just locate the little divots back there. The point in the back, right here between vertebrae C6 and T1, in that little hollow, is called Big Hammer. It's also on the central channel, and it's also a place where some of the other meridians cross. So it's a multifunction point, and they call it Big Hammer because it can really affect a situation strongly. It's like hitting something with a really big sledgehammer. Although the effect on the body is not dramatic in that way, but it's very soothing and calming. So again, I'm pointing straight down here at this little place between the collarbones, right on top of my breastbone, and right behind my neck, where my neck turns into my back, putting my fingers in those vertebral spaces, those little hollows. You'll feel it when you roll around back in there. And again, we can hold these for a minute, 2, 3, 5 if you want. For me, I find that these points are very calming and can help me really calm down when I need to. You might even find yourself taking a deeper breath at this point. This point in the front also seems to be good for chest and lungs. I'll share some specific lung points a little bit later. But for now, hold these as long as you like and come back to them when you can. Look at this video again and access those simple points. Thank you for letting me give you another tool in your toolbox, in your home toolbox, for calming anxiety and for strengthening your system. Have a great evening.